Inspiring connection. Restore. Renew. Reconnect. Live. Laugh. In love. Connections. Dream. Getaway experiences. Braveheart Workshops. Unique Getaways live with Jill Reynolds.
Hi, this is Jill Reynolds, and welcome to the Connection Dream Getaway Experiences Braveheart Workshops live show tonight. And joining me this evening is Robert Carlisle. He is a professional digital creator and he's the founder of Digital Business International out of Michigan. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Robert. How are you?
Great. Thanks, Jill. And appreciate being on the show and great introduction and happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Well, the reason I had Robert join me this evening is I was blessed by a fellow friend of mine, Beverly, to be introduced to Robert and found out that he has this amazing company, which is a company he'll explain better than me. And he's been able to help me figure out how to do live shows. So I have high regard for Robert. And what I'd like to begin this evening with is first having Robert tell you a little bit about himself and this new company that he has started to utilize to help others with networking and connecting, especially now during this coronavirus. So, Robert, can you tell us a little bit about your business and what you're doing to help others currently?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Digital Business International is a group. And it's a group of business professionals, business owners, network marketers, mentors, leaders, folks that have a passion in helping people. And the Business International is just a group. It's not necessarily a company.
Okay.
It is it also has a reach, around the world digitally. So the name pretty much explains itself. But a couple of things that I think are very important to be part of our group as either a founder or a member is one is, taking the sales hat off and just understanding what people needs are, so being like a concierge and to better serve people, so that's the first and foremost importance that we look for in founders. The other thing is sharing information that, if something's working for you, why keep that hidden? Why not share that, so other people can, keep their business thriving and alive. And especially in this world today, having a digital presence is I just find it if you don't have that, it's going to be really hard to get the message out of your business. Another thing is education. So, we're not just here to, I guess, inundate people with all this information. We're here to educate people, train them, show them, everything that you went through in your business when maybe it was a really hard time and how you use a digital solution to get through it. So, my background is food service. I mean, I joined the military when I was 18 years old as a cook. I got over the hump, and when I got out of the service after 10 years, I went straight into the food service field, which I was helping. I was still doing government contracts, but I was helping the all forces, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Army, the National Guard, the Navy. I was helping everybody in providing beverage solutions. So I haven't really left that field, but now I feel I'm in. Maybe I'm out of bounds of what my career really is, and now I'm into digital marketing, and
And, and,
so.
and so, with that, Robert,
Mhm.
why digital marketing? Why did you get into digital marketing? And then could you, so that's number one question. And then could you explain to the audience a little bit about these two platforms that you're utilizing with the digital platform? Discord is one and SANZAR
Mhm.
is another, and how that um, knowledge that you've developed and learned through is now searching and searching out others who may find this to be beneficial and helpful, and how you are starting this core group of people to build this platform. If you can describe that a little bit to the audience.
Absolutely. So I would say digital marketing found me. I wasn't looking for digital marketing. It just so happened everything that I was researching was in the digital marketing arena. So when I left, I had a restaurant in Hawaii, and when I left from being a owner of a restaurant, I found that what I was lacking was marketing, because I thought that the franchise would do all that for me. Well, I got to tell people out there that it doesn't matter what type of business you're running, you really need to have a grasp of marketing your business, because if you're not marketing your business, you're not growing your business. So I would say, the digital marketing arena found me because I was searching for things that I lacked, right?
Hmm.
And over time, with working for credit card processing companies, to proxy marketing companies with beacons, to learning how to do click funnels, to making chat bots, all this digital stuff, I found myself, I'm like, wow, I'm actually, a digital marketing, not guru, but I was a connoisseur in it. So um far as the I guess, to better describe the field that what the Digital Business International uses, I just found Discord being a very robust and very effective solution to keep people connected. So, how cool is it to have a Dropbox, have a Zoom, have Skype, have Facebook, all these type of technologies all packed into one without any advertisements. I mean, that is like, I just feel like it's a huge opportunity for people that want to stay connected without all the other chatter that's out there. Uh, SANZAR, that's just one platform that I found to be, I would say it's at the very top when it comes to immersive solution, as far as like virtual reality and immersing yourself where you actually feel like you're in another world. We're using that to actually help people connect and meet people and create quote unquote a virtual presence, which right now is lacking because we have to be social distancing. The Zoom does a very good job at communicating, but to have the sense that you're right next to the person, because right now I feel like you're really far from me. I feel like you're way over on the beach and I'm way out in outer space, right? So there's like a little gap here. So
I'll surf over to you.
yeah, so having a virtual reality platform, I think, is very imperative and paramount with connecting businesses. And we're looking at other platforms as well, because we definitely want to have uh, you know uh, a spectrum of solutions that we can offer our Digital Business International founders and members.
So with that, Robert, can you explain one one of the things that you're working on currently with some of the founders under this virtual reality platform that you're hoping to put together, as far as connecting people together with their businesses and then bringing their attendees in? You had discussed a little bit with me before the show that you're starting to put together an expo that's going to have vendor
Correct.
tables. And so, if you could explain to the audience a little bit about how virtual reality would look like in an expo setting where people can have their own booths, display their own products, and then invite guests to come to their expo to buy their merchandise and or connect more outside of the expo.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're looking at putting together, and thank you for asking that question. What we're putting together is a theme as like an expo, and we're finding that I think we're going to have a lot of attention to that, because of course businesses are wanting to market themselves.
Mhm.
So right now I know businesses are looking for everything and anything to get their message out to the masses. Because right now they're probably hurting with their marketing campaigns are probably not working. So how cool it would be to, reach out to somebody and say, "Hey, would you like to, be a vendor at our show, which is going to be in virtual reality?" Which one I think, uh, because it's in a totally different arena set because it's digital. We're kind of like, let's see what happens. Let's see how many people would be interested in doing that. And so far within our group, we're all excited to be contributing and putting that together. Far as what it would look like, it would be no different than actually going to an expo world, but you'd be moving through the expo with your avatar. Like you're on your keyboard and mouse moving through and meeting and greeting, vendors and other attendees that attend. And, it's just going to be a great social gathering, which, I know that everybody that goes there will get immense value because it's not going to be like a traditional expo where you got to weave around the crowd and then it's like everybody's talking and you can't hear what they're saying. You're going to be able to click on them, get their information, text chat them. You can go in voice. You could even, say, "Hey, I'll meet you on Discord and have a private conversation," all while being at this expo. So
And what's the value of being an avatar? I look at the word avatar to remind me a close relative of mine is mentally handicapped, and he said that he absolutely would love to be a superhero. So talk a little bit about the avatar world.
absolutely. So let's just say superheroes. So yes, in virtual reality, I mean, you could jump up, do leaps and bounds, jump over buildings if you like. But most important, everybody that I talk to, I tell them it takes about 2 weeks. And after about 2 weeks of actually consistently, using an avatar and being in the immersive solution, what happens is your brain literally, I mean, you literally believe that you are that avatar at some point in time. So first off, it's the connection from you yourself to the avatar. Once you totally believe that is you in that avatar, you have connected yourself from the 3D world to the fifth dimension world if you
Hmm.
think about it,
Hmm.
because it's an extension of you in another place. So, and then from that, once you do that, and then someone else connects with their avatar, and then you two connect in virtual reality, it's priceless.
And how's that working right? How do you feel this will work in this environment currently with people who are having such anxiety and depression disorders as a result of the social distancing, with the avatars and them having the ability to come into a room with anonymity? So, how does that play out for those who may have some social anxiety issues right now, where they can walk into the room as an avatar without it being their own face?
Me personally, I've been there. When I left, the corporate world, I was putting on a face. And it wasn't me. So every time I got home, I was totally exhausted.
Hmm.
When I was a restaurant owner, same thing. I put on a face. I had to be a certain, image, talk a certain way. I was exhausted. What I can say is people that have those type of situations and stuff, they're gonna find that they're not exhausted because when they get in, they get to be them true selves. They're not gonna come in there and be like, I don't know. If they want, they can come and be Mickey Mouse if they want,
Hmm.
but, that might be exhausting. But
Hmm.
I can say this, that over time, people just like, "You know what? I can just be myself, and I'm okay with that." And the thing is, everybody in this world accepts you for who you are. So I have my avatar that looks pretty close to what I look like in real life with glasses, and then I have this little teeny alien avatar that everybody knows me as DNA Elite, which is my character. And you know what? I don't change my voice. I talk the same.
Hmm.
And but the thing is when they see that little character, that's, hey, that's DNA Elite, and they match my voice and my personality of who I truly am with that avatar. So
Well, the way I look at this too, Robert, I feel like this could be a complete healing process. And you being a former vet who served in the military, and thank you for your service, by the way. Um, for soldiers and for military personnel who've struggled with severe post-traumatic stress disorder, I think being in this type of an environment and world will be very healing to them. I know for myself, I've gotten involved with some products called Amari, which is the mental wellness company, and they've been beta testing some of their nutritional programs with veterans in Seattle, Washington, and have found the products to substantially slow down and calm down the post traumatic stress disorder. So, talk a little bit, you being a former veteran and serving overseas in war zones, what this avatar world has meant to you with and I'm not just going to assume you have PTSD, but I can't imagine serving overseas. Any military personnel doesn't have some degree.
Yeah, I would say jumping out airplanes and the high op tempo of training, and yes, going into conflict zones where you don't know what's going to happen. I
Hmm.
think that I don't think that's just for the military. I think that's for any any person that has a job. I mean, they all can experience some sort of stress that will just take over, their personalities
Hmm.
and everything else. But what I can say is that you are in total control of yourself. Therefore, you are controlling your avatar the way you want to control it. So, what I can say is that um, there isn't anybody telling you the way you should think or do. It's you telling yourself what you're going to do
Hmm.
as being the avatar. So, yeah, I mean, this is a new. I wouldn't say it's new. I would say it's a progressed solution that has been out for many years. I mean, I would say this goes back almost 15 years when virtual reality. I would say it's gone back further than that. I would say 25 years. I mean, the pilots use goggles with video in there for many years to fly the jets. So virtual reality isn't anything new. It's getting to the point where now it's affordable and now it's going to be available to all the masses, which it is right now.
Yeah. I think the big take home for me as you speak is again, I happen, and I don't mind sharing this, I happen to be in recovery from utilizing drugs and alcohol. And in 12-step recovery programs, the number one thing that they say in meetings is that we are a confidential, anonymous group. And so to me, what I think I love about the virtual reality and the avatars is that people can come into the world and call themselves whatever name they want to call themselves. They can have their own voice, but they can have total and complete anonymity and still be able to feel like they're connecting with other people without someone knowing it's them. They can come anonymously or they can come as themselves in an avatar figure.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, you don't necessarily have to give your name out to anybody. You shouldn't
Hmm.
have to show your picture on a video
Hmm.
to anybody. So and that's the cool thing about, doing this platform. Now, it hasn't been the first thing in my mind saying, "Hey, this is why, we should be doing this." But
Yeah.
it's like we cover all we check all the blocks when it comes to that type of a situation.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think of that because there's so many people out there right now, especially now. And my heart goes out to anyone in the audience that is dealing with this. But the mental health industry is such that so many people are shut-ins and don't have the resources to go to therapy. They don't have the resources and they're afraid. They're fearful to be around large groups of people. So these worlds that you're creating, I think can really utilize connection and hope for them. And like you had told me, which I'm just really excited about, they can have getaway experiences in beach environments and they can go bowling together, they can play tennis. I mean, whatever it is they enjoy, they can connect with others in this three-dimensional world and not feel like they're isolated and all alone. And so I think that it really can actually be beneficial for those who really struggle with various issues. So So yeah, thank you so much for your willingness to investigate all of this and research it and create this for others because I really think it will be a phenomenal resource to people to have.
I know it is. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jill.
I guess the last question regarding the third world that I'd like to ask you is, um, for the person who is not technologically savvy, how do they figure these worlds out if they, really aren't that phenomenal with using technology on their computer? How do they figure it out and learn it?
First and foremost, all these platforms that are out in the market do have a tutorial, but
Okay.
one of the other purposes of the Digital Business International and the roles of a founder is to actually provide like a concierge service, helping people get through everything, help them push what buttons they need to push, making sure that they get the right, hardware to sync up with the software.
Hmm.
So I hold classes every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 3 o'clock. And I do just that. I teach the founders how to become concierge and help bring in their members so that they don't get frustrated because it's more than just logging in with username and password. There's some other things you got to do to get fully immersed and to utilize the platform.
And is this a very expensive platform that someone joins, and what kind of cost would it be for someone to get started and be able to, like, say, come to some of the events and go to the worlds and connect with others?
Yeah, so SANZAR is actually a free platform. They give
Oh.
you 20 worlds that you can build yourself if you want to be an actual world builder. That's there. Far as the Digital Business International, the founder positions are basically open and there's no cost. I'm looking for their time to spend with me to where I can teach them. But far as their chapters, there's a cost. There's actual membership. So at this point, the chapters are offering a $10 membership per month,
Mm.
and that give basically allows them to be connected within their chapter, and then it helps the founder to develop workshops, develop other programs that they can offer their members to help scale their business and grow their business and connect people with in the whole world.
So you're talking then it's only $10 per month. That's all to be able
Yep,
to come into these worlds and join and connect with others.
correct.
That's phenomenal because there's so many other places like Chamber of Commerce meetings and things of that are business networking meetings that are so much more expensive than $10 per month. So with this platform, almost anyone, the majority of people, depending on the budget that you're living on, can come into this platform and feel connected and not feel isolated.
Absolutely. I figure, I mean, I would rather just offer it for free, but I know when you do free, they won't show up. So I figure
Exactly.
for 2 cups of coffee a month, it'll say, hey, yeah, that's right. I'm part of this program. I need to check in and see what's going on. So, the
Mhm.
membership fee is just to keep everybody's attention
Mhm.
and to get their participation because we want the members to be involved. We want the founders to be involved with the Digital Business International.
Well, what your statement is true. I used to belong to a large congregation church in Chicago that had a big care center, and they had built a really large clothing store with children's clothing. And when they first started, all the children's clothing were free. And the parents who had hardships and didn't have the resources to buy their children clothing, um, didn't want to come to the store and get free clothing. They felt humiliated and shamed around it. And so they started charging $1 per item. And then as soon as the parents knew they can buy their children, let's say 10 new outfits for the school year for $10, the parents felt value and didn't feel so shamed. So you're right. When you offer things for free, I think you're almost sometimes slapping a person in the face, and it's shame based, like, you don't think I could afford anything, and so just even having a low price makes people feel value and valuable. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So with that, Robert, I always like to ask two questions to kind
Mhm.
of change the pace a little bit. So on your cell phone, what would you say are two must-have apps that you have downloaded on your cell phone that you couldn't live without in 2020? If they told you you could only keep two apps on your cell phone, which ones would you say, I have to have these?
Discord
Discord?
and Patreon.
What's Patreon? I'm not familiar with Patreon.
Okay. Yeah, Patreon is for freelancers, for artists, and basically they can offer memberships to their services or consultations and stuff to their Patreons that sign up. So what I
Mm,
like about Patreon, it's not, they don't treat you like you're a transaction.
okay.
They connect you, and you get to learn about, the artists and their abilities before you even, patron give
Okay.
them membership.
All
So
right.
those are the two apps that I use every single
And
day
it's a
right now.
pay platform where people can sell their services and offer it,
Absolutely. Yep.
kind of like similar to PayPal, but in a different variant.
Yep. It's a great relationship selling tool.
Okay, great. And so the other question I love to ask my guests on my show is, what's one fun fact about you that you'd like to share? What's one fun fact about Robert?
Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. I
If
don't
you
know.
don't, if you don't mind, it don't matter. I thought you were going to say something else. You know what I thought you were going to say? Do you mind me
What's
sharing
that?
what I
Yeah,
thought
go
you were
ahead.
going to say?
Go
That
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
used to be a musician.
That's true. That's true. And that is something I love putting my mind into.
Mind over
Good.
matter. Where music soothes my soul. So I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely.
So with Braveheart workshops, our theme going forward for 2020 is connection, dream, and getaway experiences. So I think you've answered the question of how are you connecting right now in your life during the coronavirus through this amazing platform that you're utilizing, Discord and SANZAS. Um, what do you dream about for 2020? What are some of your dreams? What's your, like, if you were to sit here and go, oh, my big dream for this year is.
Well, I gotta say this. I'm really excited with what we're doing with the Digital Business International. I like the growth that we're having. I just want to help a lot of people because I know that people are hurting out there right now with
Mhm.
just in business and everything in general. I'm trying to get the reach as far as we can, and and I do believe that I can help the world, and I think a lot of people just need to take a step back and create their own world that they want to live in, and just live there for a little bit so that they can get away from the daily, the news and everything of what's happening.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm excited about for 2020.
And so, final question.
Yep.
When the social distancing ends, and I know you live in the virtual world, so besides the virtual world, besides that, what getaway experience would you love to do either with yourself or your wife, children? What getaway experience, and what would that getaway experience look like for you? Be when this is all over.
Absolutely. So we lived in Hawaii for 10 years. So anytime we went on vacation, guess where we went? We wanted to go to the snow. Right. So now that we're not in Hawaii anymore, we're actually in the snow. We're up in, upper Michigan. Most likely it'll be something tropical.
Tropical. And
Yeah.
for you saying that, who would you travel with?
In regards to airline
Who
or
would take along? What avatar would you take with
oh,
you? Who in your
well,
life would you want to travel with? By yourself? Your
no,
family?
it'd
Who
be
would
my family.
your
Yeah, it'd be
family?
myself, my wife, and my youngest son.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I really appreciate your time and your energy, and I love getting to know what your connections are, your dreams, and what your getaway experiences are. So, thank
Thank
you
you for
so
having me.
much for joining our show.
Thank you, Jill.
Take care. Thank you so much. Let's connect now. We can dream together to renew, restore, and reconnect with wellness in our life. Join me for weekly Zoom connections on Facebook at facebook.com Braveheart Workshops. Thanks so much for joining the show, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday nights.